so I don't know where to look right now.
It's like theater in the round.
Yes. Cool. So we started off our first class with Charleston stuff. So we talked quickly about just kind of pulls. We went into kicking. We started right off with side by side. We talked about using the same ideas we used in our Lindy hop stuff. There's a back and a forward travel. The shoulders still move, the arms swing, but I'm actually making sure that John is changing my direction.
Yeah, we talked about not karate kicking our legs, and letting our legs actually swing through this Charleston a little bit more.
Okay. Then we took it into an S turn into tandem. Step, kick, step,
run
kick, step,
away.
rock, step, kick, step, rock, step, into tandem. We'll show that one more time, a little bit slower. Different angle.
Rock, step,
kick, step,
run away.
kick,
And rock, step.
Huh?
Talked about using that rock step. I used this connection on Jenna's hand to actually stop her from moving backward and give her that slow down.
And then it follows through with this side to stop me there as well. Because if we only had it on the one side, then it would actually just make me do that. We also talked about on that end point, followers are really thinking about going this way. We get that stretch. Now I'm thinking going this way, which is why we need to stop. And then in tandem, we get the same idea. John is actually changing my direction
Here.
each time. Then we took this into push waves.
Which is all the same concept, so it's slightly different shape.
Kick, rock, step, kick. So when he sends me out, I'm trying to go that way. He has to pull me back in. Then we use this to exit. Okay.
Leaders, we had a slightly different footwork. Instead of our basic, we went rock, step, kick, rock, step, same foot.
We talked about the important thing that's happening here is coming out of this rock step. Our leaders are changing us. They're telling followers, we're done with Charleston. We're going back into Lindy hop. We feel that by an extra long pull here on that rock step into the movement, and it's downward
that line.
If we don't feel that feeling, we end up with a 6 count kick, which is fine. But if we really want to be like, we're out of Charleston, back into Lindy hop, we want that down the line and downward feeling.
Yeah.
Then we went into solo movement.
Slightly different class. We started off just keeping that 8 count rhythm and keeping that basketball on our stomach all the time.
So we took that, we moved around the room, we talked about just kind of how we move, putting the weight into the floor, changing directions, this is okay, we moved sideways, moved diagonally, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Then we did...
Got with a partner, and we did this thing, stand on the foot.
Let yourself fall on stage.
Allow yourself to fall on your foot. Yeah. Different directions.
All that kind of stuff. Then we did the walker drill. So he's walking forward, I catch his hips, he lets himself naturally kind of fall into that.
We talked about not faking it.
Right? So if there's a small pull, it's a small rebound. If it's big, then it's like a big jellyfish. Little jellyfish.
So we then went into kind of the shopping cart drill idea. And we used those same elements of moving and letting your body flow through things, keeping that momentum going. We talked about Isaac Newton's first law of Lindy hop. Follower in motion stays in motion. And one of the things we talked about toward the end, especially for the follower role of that, is letting yourself be available and not kind of just dead fishing when you're let go.
As in leaders being actually like careful and considerate
yeah.
with our following. Instead of being mean and trying to trick people, we actually want to communicate to them
Yes,
clearly.
we like comfort.
Then we went into
turns.
Cool, so the first turning stuff we did was we did half turns down the line. So we talked first about how we look into our turns. If I'm going left, I look left. And it starts to move my shoulder already. If I'm going right, I look right. I stay looking that direction throughout the turn. So we did half turns, starting left, I look left, half turn here. I'm still looking left. I keep going. We talked about my feet continue down that line. So if I'm going this way, this hip pulls here. When I'm coming here, this hip pulls here. Same thing going right.
Not taking big steps, keeping it nice and underneath you.
Okay. Then we did it with full turns. Same idea. Down the line, stepping through that. That was our down the line turns. Then we took it to turning in place. And we started off with just turning right on both sets of triple steps. So step, step, triple step, 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 triple step. So we talked about leading into the turn with our head. We don't want to look down because that teeters us. And we talked about actually looking kind of past because of the whole things that our eyeballs do that are cool.
Practically, this works because it keeps Jenna's turns consistent and it allows her to see me before I catch her. and gives us a little bit more time for understanding.
So we did that to the right, we did it to the left, and we did it on single steps and mixing all that together.
We moved it all around the room, we did all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of movement things.
Yeah, I think that's it.